to turn the microphone over to Al Proya, commander of the American Legion post in Libertyville.
Thank you. Tuesday, I sprained my ankle. I thought, what a time to do this. And I started thinking, hey, I'm here. Everyone is here. And why are we here? We're here to thank all the people that gave the ultimate sacrifice and those who served in our armed forces. Thank you very much.
Let me get the umbrella. Shit.
Each year, the VFW sponsors a patriotic essay contest entitled Voice of Democracy. Here again is Abigail Madden, commander of the VFW, to introduce this year's winner.
We're so excited to have Zach Pearson, a sophomore from our Libertyville High School, presenting today. He actually won second place at the district with his essay.
The PB-4Y bomber dropped down on the wave tops and began its run, releasing bombs, at least one of which hit the ship. It then skipped over the mast. 2 of the engines were shot out, with 1 more about to quit. The plane was unable to maintain altitude and crashed into the sea. It broke in half just to the rear of the bomb bay. 1 crew member, a 21-year-old second-class machinist, was the last man out, but only after ensuring his crew was safely aboard the 2 life rafts. Seasick, sunburned, but safe, they were picked up a day later by a U.S. destroyer. That second-class machinist was my uncle. These are the stories that influence our nation. I sure know his story influenced me. My uncle was a veteran who led his nation in war with pride and perseverance. He didn't know how to swim when that plane crashed into the Pacific. He had to deal with adversity, hardship, and pain without a moment's notice. Through this, my uncle gained guts, confidence, wit, and verve for life that only our veterans have. My uncle went into the Second World War an ordinary kid. Sure, he came out a war hero, but that is not what defined him. He is so much more than his Purple Heart and Distinguished Flying Cross. He learned about himself, conquered his limitations, and came out an honorable man who stood by his word and brought out the best in others. Serving his country shaped him in a way no school, sport, or career ever could. My uncle is just one man whose story has become part of the fabric of our nation. Together, our veterans weave a blanket of stories, experiences, knowledge, and character that has been passed down for generations. Our nation has been chiseled and shaped by the sacrifices that our veterans have made. Lessons have been learned, some the hard way. From the very beginning, when we needed to unlock ourselves from our English oppressors, it was our veterans who held the key. When slavery reared its ugly head and threatened to tear our country apart, our veterans fought for what they believed in, and ultimately, our country was united. When the Axis threatened our very existence, our veterans defended our way of life. When communism started creeping around the world, our veterans pushed it back. And our veterans hold our speeches. When communism started creeping around the world, our veterans pushed it back. Thank you. And when innocent men, women, and children are preyed upon by terrorists, it is our veterans who defend them. Undoubtedly, it is our veterans who have played the most key role in the security and prosperity of our nation and our world. William Faulkner wrote, "Be scared. You can't help that. But don't be afraid." When faced with protecting our Constitution at the ultimate cost, our veterans live by those words. They put their lives on the line. And they teach us to have the same ironclad courage and guiding morals that, with their contributions, have shaped and strengthened our country. Our veterans have helped make the United States a beacon of hope for all nations. Without our veterans, the pages of our history books would be blank. Without them, there would be no land of the free. As Americans, we not only owe our history to our veterans, but we count on them to secure our future. Veterans continually pave the way for our future. Through their indelible character and dedication, veterans stand as role models and teachers, guiding us to improve on our weaknesses and let our spirits soar. Veterans of all ages who go on to prosper in the private sector help lead our nation to ever greater levels of success. I strongly believe that the innovative, can-do attitude of these men and women is a direct result of their time spent serving our country. Without veterans, our future is bleak. My uncle passed away in January of last year at 91 years old. Up until his last day, he had no regrets, and he never gave up. He instilled that virtue in me, and I am incredibly thankful for it. His spirit burns bright inside me, and I will let it shine and soar and carry it into my future, into your future, and into our country's future. Our veterans, past and present, are pillars of strength. They unite us all by exemplifying selflessness, patriotism, and courage. They define what it is to be an American. This is why our veterans are important to our nation's history and future. This is why we must take care of them. This is why we must love them, cherish them, learn from them, and forever keep their memory alive. Thank you. I just wanted to say, this Memorial Day, we honor all the veterans who have gone before us. They laid down their lives for our freedom, and we are forever grateful. Thank you.